Hey, Nicholas, how are you?
Hey Terence, I am blessed and highly favored.
Hey,
How are you?
hey, I'm blessed and highly favored too. That's
That's
awesome.
awesome.
What time is it there?
It's 10:26 p.m. here.
Okay, okay, all right, not too bad, not too bad then.
No,
Okay,
no.
yeah, it's only almost 4:30 here.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You ever been over to the U.S.?
No, never.
No.
I've never even traveled.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, you got to change that.
Yes, and that's what I'm scared of. Actually, one of my fears that I'm starting to see the possibility of going to the convention, and I'm so afraid to travel for the first time and go to a big convention.
Oh, really? Oh, man,
Yeah,
there's nothing to be afraid of, man. Be
it
excited
scares
about it.
it
Have you
scares
ever
me.
have you ever been on a plane before?
No,
Oh, really? Wow. Okay. Okay.
so that's a new experience.
Mm-hmm. You'll love it, man. You'll love it. It's nothing to it. It's like driving a car. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Well, you're not the one flying, so you just get to chill out and go to sleep
I
and wake
think.
up there.
Yeah, I think once with everything, once we do it one or two times, it's not scary anymore.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, 'cause I think I've been flying since I was a little kid, so it's
Oh, that's nice.
yeah, because my dad he had moved to Atlanta, and he used to. That's the one thing he used to fly me and my sister cross country to to visit him and stuff. So yeah, you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. When there's something new, and I always start to think a lot, overthink things.
Right. Nah, you know what? I think that's a habit we all got. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Yeah.
I
So,
think so.
well, I guess the idea is to know when you're overthinking and just simply stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
I mean, yeah,
mm,
everybody travels, so why couldn't I do it?
exactly, exactly. And you're building a business, you're making the money to be able to do it. You know what I mean? You got
Yeah,
yeah, you got your the other business with the coaching. So you good to go. Hey, Margaret, how are you?
hey Margaret, hey Ellen,
Hey, Ellen, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Awesome, awesome. Hey,
hey
Robert,
Robert.
good to see you.
What's up, guys
What's
and
happening?
girls?
All right. So this right here is a little bit new to me. So hopefully I don't have to click any of these buttons to do anything because I'm not exactly sure
Are you
how.
hosting a call today?
What'd you say?
Are you hosting?
Yeah, yeah, I'm hosting today. Yep.
Oh, I guess you can do that when you're 5K.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I'm just doing Melanie a favor because she's on the road. Hey Scott, how you doing, buddy? She's on the road and where she's at, she has very choppy reception. So, so she asked me if I would do it. And of course, you know what I mean? Um yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, all right. So it's 4:30. I'm trying to see if we're missing anybody. I'll say we're missing Jules. I know Nikki can't make it. She inboxed me. She's dealing with a cold, so we want to keep her up in prayer. And so let me see. We're missing Jules. We're missing Rashawn, Dan, Kevin. See, that's who I could think off the top of my head. Okay, well, I guess they'll pop on in since we it's 4:30. Okay, hey everybody, welcome to the Ascenders call. We had another great week, and hopefully, you all seeing some improvements in your business. And I guess by a raise of hands, did everybody see an improvement? Everybody, like, is things getting a bit, easier, simpler? All right. Okay. What? Not so much, Rob? Well, tell me about it. What's going on?
Oh, all right. Let me, yeah, I had let's see, last week yeah, last week wasn't a good week for me mentally and emotionally. I was just going through some things, and I could honestly say that it was related to HempWorks. You know, I just not quite having the momentum or the I guess momentum, best way to say it. You know, I'm not having the momentum that I've been hoping to have, you know, or that maybe I think that I should be having, you know. So, you know, just after the last 9 months or so, and just a little, not questioning whether this is for me or not, but more questioning what is not working or what am I doing wrong, in a sense of, you know, just what's not working. You know what I mean? And I know I reached out to you. I reached out to a whole bunch of people. You know, just to kind of not really vent, but just kind of get a little some insight as to what's going on. So, well, yeah, you're right, Scott. I haven't talked to much last week at all because I wasn't in the right mindset to reach out to anybody. And not that I'm making up any reasons to not reach out to people, but I just wasn't there. I just wasn't there. So I'm kind of on the upswing, you know, now, and just watching more Robert's videos, you know, and just trying to get back in the right state of mind.
Okay, all right. And then what Scott actually said was actually a very good point, and a very good question. So let's just say, hey, Rashawn, how you doing, buddy? I don't have the ability to. I don't know why. Oh yeah, I do. Unmute, mute. Okay, no, I don't have the ability to unmute people. Let me see something. Rashawn, I'm just kind of practicing with you.
Oh, okay.
Did I just unmute you, Rashawn?
No.
And then I just muted you. Hey, okay, all right. I got some power here. Okay, awesome. All right, hey Rob, here's my question. I understand what you're saying. So when you were, let's say, you know, the best Rob, and you're out there and you were doing what you're doing, how many people are you talking to?
A day? Oh, it would be at least a minimum of 25 to 30. Now that would be, how can I say it? Not that they're necessarily answering my messages, but I would reach out to a minimum 25 a day.
Okay, and out of that 25, how many will respond back to you roughly?
You know, it varies, but I don't know, sometimes, like, I don't know, let's say 5 to 7, 5 to 8.
Okay. And then,
you know, because a lot of them are colder market. You know, it's not I wouldn't say it's warm market. I mean, it's somebody that I've had friended a while ago, and you know, we might have had some small, like, hey, how are you? It's nice to connect with you. And now I'm sort of reaching out to them again, and you know, I would send them a message, you know, and some of them would say, yeah, sure, send me the link. I would send them my link, and I'd get a website hit, but no pre-enrollment.
okay.
You know?
Okay. And are you pulling these people from, like, your different groups? Is that how you're finding these people?
Not from groups necessarily. They're more like they are friends that I have several mutual friends with.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
so a lot of them are like realtors, you know, and sort of like in that industry. So I like, and not that it's quite working for me, but I like connecting with realtors because they're always networking. They're always looking to produce,
Okay.
you know? So I try to connect with a lot of realtors, and so yeah, I reach out to them, chat a little bit, throw them a link, and so.
Well, tell me this, Rob. Let's back it up, though. All right,
All right.
so you network with the realtors, and I'm assuming you're networking online, or are you talking to them verbally?
Some are online, some are verbally, you know.
Oh, okay. And
Yeah, so
then,
like I go to I like to go to networking events and
okay.
and to connect with people face to face too. You know, not everything doesn't have to be. Well, some people do everything online. I like to have some physical interaction too.
Okay, all right. And then how does that conversation go? How does it start? How do you transition? Give me an example.
Hmm. Wait, put me on the spot. So, you know, I'll initially say hello. Hey, it's really great to connect with you. You know, maybe I'll look through their profile and see what they're working on, and I'll compliment them on, you know, if they're always like hustling, I'll say, hey, love your hustle, love what you're working on. It's very motivating, or you know, doing them a compliment, you know, and then they'll answer me back or whatever, and then I'll ask them how long have they been working in this particular industry, you know, and then you know, so I'll say, hey, well, sounds like you really love what you're working on, and then I'll ask them if they've ever considered doing anything else, you know, or if they were open to taking a look at something new, or I'll ask them if they're open to making another source of income, you know. And a lot of realtors, they say, yeah, you know, they're open to hearing about learning of another source of income, you know. And I'll say, okay, great. And then I'll say that I'm working with Robert Hollis on something something amazing or something credible or exciting, and I'll edify Robert a little bit, you know, and then I'll send them my link, you know, and so then we go from there. Some people pre-enroll and some don't.
Okay, all right, okay. Well, it seems like you got the pattern right. The only thing that I would suggest is like, only because I'm a realtor too, you know, Ellen's from the real estate field. You know, one of the things I really believe when it comes to people, you know, people literally want to talk more about themselves, of course. And I kind of think like, say, for instance, how you start off the conversation, you asking them, you know, about what it is that they do, maybe asking them more questions, you know, about what it is that they do, maybe how long they've been doing it, you know, asking the questions where you can actually start pulling some pain out of them. Whereas, well, if they've been in business for 5 years, you know what I mean? How successful has this business been for you? You know, how, you know, are you making the money that you're looking to make in this? Or, you know, and then from there, you know, maybe kind of transition, you know? I'm just thinking if somebody was coming to me and they were talking to me, and if they were pulling out a little bit more pain, it would actually just make me a little more open to hear. You know what I mean? Compared to just that quick switch. You know, but in all, one thing I've learned over the years is still a numbers game. So even having that conversation, is having that conversation with a ton of people. You know what I mean? But I believe if you dig a little bit deeper, and you pull some of the pain out of people, I think you would be able to get better results. Because now, like you said, you're getting people to pre-enroll, so that's fantastic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's like, so you're definitely doing something right. You know what I mean? So I know you said you was feeling kind of down, but I'm telling you, don't feel down, because you're doing things right. It's just upping the number of what it is that you're doing. When Melanie was talking about me becoming 5K, I mean, the only thing I really did was up the number of what it was that I was already doing. You know what I mean? And,
well, you've been hitting some incredible numbers.
But that's because I talk to more people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, there's some things that I do have to my advantage. Just being open and transparent. I mentioned it on the last call. I got a list of over 10,000 people. And I know how to, maybe write something to that list to get them to go hit my websites or get them to take a look at the opportunity, you know what I mean? But, they're still not necessarily pulling the trigger, you know what I mean? But one thing I do notice is like when I have a better conversation with people, they're more likely to go ahead and get involved, So just keep doing what you're doing and just up your numbers, you know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, you'll do great,
Yeah.
Hey, Margaret, let me see.
Hi.
Hey.
I was going to say, I don't know if you've ever heard of Todd Falcone.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I have.
That's all he deals with is real estate people. That's how he built his businesses. So maybe if you go listen to how he talks to them, it would give you some ideas of how. I know we're supposed to focus on Robert's training and stuff like that. However, I know Todd's built his business with real estate people pretty much. And he might have a way of talking to get them to, like you were saying, get the pain points out. And then, go back to, so that's all I was suggesting is just, I know that's how Todd built his business, was pretty much strict. He'd go into, like he would go into, when he went shopping, he'd just pull cards off the those notice boards, and all the real estate people, that's all he would do is pull cards. But he might have some questions that you're not thinking about to ask them. So that was all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Margaret. And I'm going to tell you too, because she made me think of something else when I appreciate that, Margaret. And she made me think of something else. Like when we do talk about one of the things with Robert, now, of course, he's doing a lot of things online, but for the fact that you're talking to people, face to face, that $1 million question is totally awesome in that type of situation that you're in. Because when you're having a conversation with these people, and then, you're networking, you're going back and forth. They're telling you what it is that they're doing. Because think about it in their head, right? Basically, they're talking about themselves because they want to, be who they are. You know what I mean? They're looking to impress you, right? Because that's why they're talking about themselves. And from there, just think about it, because everybody might not necessarily have that pain point, might not come out. And just as, if you just maybe transition it to a way as such as, well, me, myself, I'm actually helping build a company, and we're actually expanding in the local area. And we're actually looking for people that want to make a little extra money or a lot of extra money. And, by you being, in the field that you're in, I know a lot of people. So maybe you can actually refer somebody to me, So something of that nature, right? Because there, you're not necessarily stepping in, trying to get them to, come right on the board. I mean, you are, but in a way, whereas, now you've done piqued their interest. Well, what is it? Why are you interested? Well, maybe, right? So now, once again, you're getting them your link and everything else. So that might even be a simple way to transition, not just a realtor, but anybody that you talk to, face to face with, be able to help get your numbers up. Because, to me, that's a simple conversation. Hey, I'm expanding the company in the local area. I'm looking for some people that want to make a little bit of extra money or a lot of extra money. Do you think you could refer me some people? So fantastic. Rashard? There you go.
Perfect. This is good. So, because the topic right now, it's pretty much going on to like offline communication and talking. And Robert brought up a good thing before about going to networking events, because I started thinking about these things. I know the philosophy is more in the sense of connecting with a lot of people online, but you know, I looked at someone that they posted in the Vision team yesterday, this lady Judith, who's like going on her like second year about to be a millionaire earner. She's a super affiliate, and she's doing a lot of things that are like, you know, offline. She's doing a lot of like, she put a live of her doing like a webinar and all that stuff. You know, not to go crazy, that's where it goes to that level. But my question was pretty much going on to like, how much of offline conversation is, you know, most people doing? Like, Rob, I know you said you went to a networking event. There's always networking events. I kind of wanted to hear like, what has been your experience going to them? Like, because I thought of it maybe just being a lot of people that are all just trying to get out their opportunities and talk about all their stuff that they have to offer. But I mean, it's also all about networking. So kind of just wanted to hear even your side, Terrence. I know you got a big list, but you know, are there a lot of conversations that you feel you're having more offline than online, or you just doing it all around? Because I know you're very busy as well. So,
you talking about with me or with Rob?
Well, I'll go with you first, and now
Okay.
I just wanted to hear what Rob had to say about like his networking events that he goes to, because that was a good point that he brought up that I actually thought about today.
Okay. Well, me personally, I don't really go to many networking events. And, you know, I mean, I get a lot of people that try to pull me into networking events, but it's mostly for real estate investing. And I'm just to the point where like, I'm just so tired of it, because I'll get everybody and their mother just kind of grabbing me, want to know this, want to know that. And it's like, I'm just not in a place where I want to deal with it at the moment. So I think Rob would probably be the better expert on it, because, I mean, I do conversate with people on the outside, you know, letting people know what it is that I do. And it's just simply sharing what it is that I do. I share my product story with people, you know. I ask them, have you heard of CBD? What do you know about it? You'd be surprised how many people has never even heard of it, you know. And then, you know, at that point, I will share a link with them just to educate them some, you know, on it, like the newscasts and things like that. But as far as actual networking events, let's let Rob talk about that, because that's more or less his specialty.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, networking event, right? So I love social media. I love connecting with people on Facebook, but it's kind of hard to get a really true feel for somebody hiding behind a messenger, you know, hiding behind a screen and a keyboard. You know, you get to go to these events, you get to feel the energy of the room, you get to see who's smiling, you get to see who's energetic. You know, those are the ones you want to go up with, people that are smiling. You know, I mean, anybody could pretend online. You know what I mean? So there's always different methods of sorting, right? And Robert always talks about sorting, you know, with sharing a link, or sharing just a conversation, or sharing some literature or something to read. But the networking events is great. And so I've been following a lot of Ray Higdon too, you know, and Ray Higdon actually, he has a really great method for networking events, which I haven't tried, but I'm going to share it anyway. So you go to these events, you listen to people that are sharing their what they're working on, you know, and then they kind of ask you what you're working on. So what he said is that it's kind of funny. He said people aren't looking for a network marketing opportunity, you know, they're just not going to these events hoping to find somebody in network marketing. Like, hey, I hope I meet somebody who's in network marketing tonight. You know, they're not looking for that. So you go to these events and you listen to the people. They're telling you what they're working on, what they're doing, and they ask you what you do. Now, you can tell them that you work in the medical field, right? And you love helping people or whatever it is that you do. But I'm more curious to hear about what you're working on and have them start opening up again about what they do, or maybe compliment them on what they're doing or deal that they closed, or and get their card. And Ray even said that he doesn't even, when he used to go to these networking events, he would never even hand out cards. He would just collect everybody's card, and then he would follow up with them the next day and say, hey, really great meeting you at the event. I'm actually working on something that I'm looking to grow my team, or I'm working on something I'm very excited about. It was and I wanted to share it with you. The way we had connected was great. I thought of sharing this with you. Are you at all open to taking a look at this opportunity? And so having them met you, they get to feel your energy kind of vibe off of you, you know what I mean? Then they would be open to taking a look. And then you would share your link, So I've actually had a few pre-enrollees from that. I actually had my last executive that signed up was from a networking event, and he was a mortgage lender, and he was actually a top producing mortgage lender. He closed 100 loans last year, so he signed on as an executive, and so we're working together now to get things rolling. But yeah, I met him at a networking event, and so I just look to connect with people, like I said, people that are smiling, look energetic, or inviting and welcoming to let you into their little circle that of friends. Because a lot of these networking events, people go for like a hangout, and they go to meet up with friends, associate, colleagues that they're already familiar with. A lot of people go to these events, and from what I gathered, very few are looking to connect with new people. And what's even more strange is that very few even follow up to a message. So I got stacks of cards, that I meet all these people, and I'll send them either a message on the same night, like, hey, really great connecting with you, looking forward to learning how we can serve one another, learning how we can help each other to grow our businesses, and they won't even answer that message. And it's a completely, hey, it was nice meeting you, really great meeting you. They won't even answer that. And it's just kind of, so it's hit and miss. It's the same. I'd say it's the same as social media, as networking events. People will and will not answer your message, but it just kind of mixes things up a little bit. It's not always the same sitting in front of your computer screen all day. You get to kind of get out a little bit, meet some great people that are local, because it's great to build locally as well, because you guys can meet up for lunch, you connect with your lists, you start, finding out, hey, what are you doing that's working? What are you doing that's working? And you can kind of vibe off each other like that. And I think working in groups, you can produce more, because you guys are kind of motivating one another. So I like working, personally, I like working with people, because I don't like working alone. I've learned that I need somebody with me to motivate me, to help me work a little harder, So, yeah, but that's me. So I hope I was able to provide this group with some value.
That's awesome, Robert. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Okay, all right. So is Robert the only one that's going to networking groups as of right now? And this, nobody else, right? Okay, all right. Margaret, you are? Okay.
I used to go to them all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and then I stopped for 2 or 3 years
Mm-hmm.
because I did find it was mostly people in our industry that were always going to pitch their product. So I did go to one last week, and it was I did a post on it. I don't know if anybody saw it. I went with a totally different attitude.
Okay.
In that I wasn't. This networking event was all about networking, and the lady that put it on guaranteed you at least one appointment. And I think she did 3 last week, and she had probably 150 people at the 3 different events, maybe 200, and every single one of them did get at least one appointment. It was like amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that I've started to do is that I'm going to start to do is not really connect with people that are in network marketing industry. I'm going to connect with people that own their own business but are not in the network marketing industry. And one of the things that I did that got me the appointment was because of what I've just recently gone through, where I lost pretty much everything. It really scared me. I mean, it's scary. Where I am right now is very scary. And so what I started doing was, what I did with this table that I was at, it's like, you know what? I just went through some things, and it's my mission that I know you love what you do, but at some point in time, whether it's because of you, because of economics, because of whatever, you may not be able to work. And what are you going to do when that time comes? Are you going to have your back up against the wall? And I mean, now that I've gone through that, I can speak that forcefully. I couldn't do it before. I always wanted to say it before, but I couldn't because I believed it, but it had never happened to me. So now that it happened to me, I can say, look, what happens if you get laid off tomorrow? What happens if you get cancer? Do you want to have to go to work taking, what do you call it? Chemo? Do you want to have to go to work the day after chemo because you have no choice? Or do you want to take, so I got a couple of appointments out of it. Now,
That's awesome.
it may be too strong, but it's just where I am right now. And if it makes people, and I don't care if they do it or not, like I said, I mean, I'm pretty straightforward. Hey, if you're happy, you know, depending on economics, depending on your health, depending on things you have no control over, that's great. But maybe you just want to take a look at it. It's totally up to you whether you do it or not. I don't, you know. So I don't know if everybody agrees with that.
Now that's awesome, Margaret. That really is, because it seems like you're in a place where your posture is just, you know,
Yeah.
it's point on. It's just point on right now, because, you know, one of the things that Gary Cox was teaching us about, you know, if you remember, we have our belief here and our value here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So your belief level, I mean, it's solid. You know what I mean? It's solid. And now what you're doing, your value is up here. So now, you know, you don't care if they come in or they don't, but you're telling them what you believe. You're telling them how much value this product or this business can be for them.
Yeah.
It's up to them whether they have the ears to hear or not.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. That is
And
awesome.
One thing I wanted to say to Rob is, like I've been going through for the last 3 or 4 weeks, what you just went through last week. And all of a sudden, today it was like, fuck it. I'm going to stop being a victim and take control of my life. Because what I lost, I will probably never get back. And even if I do, it's not going to be the full amount. So what am I going to do? Am I going to sit here and cry? What's that going to do for me? Nothing. I have to do this. I have no choice. unless I just want to live the rest of my life out as a victim. And even for me now, like I say the same thing to myself. If I don't do this today or this month or in the next 6 months, what happens if something happens to me in September and I don't have any money? I'd rather have $5,000 coming in a month than nothing. So the same thing can happen to me. I can be the one that gets cancer. I can be the one that gets hit by a car. I can't lose a job because I don't have one, but it's our health, you know, like, it's just like I used to watch live with seniors, okay? And I lived with 2 or 3 different seniors. And I lived with a senior that had probably $500 million. And I lived with a senior that had nothing. And the senior that had nothing had MS. The senior that had $500 million had Alzheimer's. And I'll tell you, they both suck, but life was a whole lot easier living with the one that had the $500 million. Because she could go out and do whatever she wanted. The other one, you were counting pennies. It was awful. And you would have thought that would have been enough for me years and years ago, but obviously it wasn't. So, you know, so people just never know. And that's my mission now, is just to, maybe I got to be a little bit gentler than I was in the last week, but so that's me.
That's awesome, Margaret. That really is awesome. And you know what? Hey, Jules, see you popped in there, so I'm say hi. But yeah, Margaret, that's so awesome, you know. And just keep doing what you're doing, definitely. Okay. Hey, Nicholas, I see you had your hand up. Come on out.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. So, yeah, I have 2 questions. The first one is, I noticed Margaret and Robert talked about other leaders in the industry. And I guess this question is for everyone. Are you that's on here following other great leaders? Because I have a vague memory that Robert once said to follow one mentor, follow one system. And so I've been having that in my mind. So it's funny when I'm talking to people, I edify and promote Robert Hollis, and they say, oh, I'm following this guy. And they tell me, you should follow this guy as well and this guy as well. And I'm telling them, no, I'm only following one mentor, one system. And I've been sticking to that. So my first question is, are you guys following other people as well?
Okay, well, to answer that, me personally, I made a decision. I mean, I'm not following anybody else. Nothing. You know what I mean? Robert is who I follow, and that's it. You know, before, when I first started in this business, you know, I did okay as far as doing things of what I know how to do, learning, you know, what I've learned from other people. You know, I still got tools and stuff like that I have that's already in my head. You know, like well, I'll talk about like a Facebook, you know, like my list and things like that. But I don't teach that to any of my team because it's not duplicatable. The only things I ever talk about to my team are the things that Robert shows and teaches me to do. And that's point, guide, and direct. Okay?
Yeah.
And by listening to Robert, that's how I was able to bring in, like last month, I brought in 22 new people into the business. Now, I brought in 18 personally to me, but the other 4 I just placed on other people's teams so they didn't show up in my particular back office. But I did that simply by listening to everything that Robert said. Now, I think when Margaret was talking about like Todd Falcone and things like that, I don't believe she was talking about following, you know, like a Todd Falcone. What she was more or less referencing is more or less like, because of what Robert does with his, you know, networking, and he's talking to a lot of realtors, and for the fact that Todd Falcone does talk to a lot of realtors, to me, that's more or less like how you read a book. You know what I mean? Like if you read, you know, the book we was talking about, the Richest Man in Babylon, you know, where it teaches the thing of getting the attitude of putting away the 10% of whatever it is that you earned. You know what I mean? So I don't think that was, more of a frame of, oh, you should go follow Todd Falcone. That's not,
Okay, my mistake. Sorry.
Yeah. Nothing like that. But I'm a firm believer. Like I said, I've done even now to this day. Like Gary Cox is one of my mentors and coaches, right? But I went to Robert first, and I asked Robert, you know what I mean? Is this somebody that I should be listening to, or I should have as a coach? Because my question was, because Robert had him as a coach. And then Robert is the one that told me yes, because what he teaches is something different. You see what I'm saying? So that's the only reason, like, I have another coach. Or just like how Melody is our coach. Melody is a protege of Robert. So when we get Melody, we get Robert. And then what Gary teaches, what Gary teaches is a product of what Robert wants us to know. You know what I mean? Per se. But that hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, I totally understand.
Okay. And then Robert has something. Hey, Robert.
Oh, you're muted.
Thanks. I was trying to get my cursor. I got another
I was using my power to mute and unmute.
So multiple coaches. Okay, now this is where I've been going wrong. Okay, I had a great conversation with Melody the other day. I was messaging Robert the other day, and so as far as multiple coaches isn't a good thing if you're trying to learn the same thing. So if you have multiple coaches trying to teach you network marketing techniques, that's probably, no, I'm going to say it's not a good idea.
Not at all.
Now, yes, I was in Ray Higdon's group, and I'm in Robert's group, so I'm trying to find out what works best for me. But so to keep things a little on the short side here, I removed myself from Ray Higdon's group because Robert Hollis is proven to be a very documented and successful leader in this industry. And he's in HempWorks, and he's getting results, and he's helping hundreds of other people get results. So if I cut the crap out and stop trying to find the golden nugget from somebody and follow somebody who's proven to get results with other people, then if I commit to that, if I commit to Robert, then I'm going to have the results that I'm looking for. So as far as network marketing, yes. Now, I am working with somebody else in terms of mindset and different techniques or different ways to enhance my mindset, but that's just me. I'm not recommending anybody do that. So as far as building my network marketing, I am committing to listen to Robert. I was actually reading his book this morning, How's That Working? I haven't read that book yet. And so I said, I have to read this book. So I'm on chapter 3 now. And I took myself out of Rank Makers and put myself into the tribe, on Saturdays. And I was on Saturday's call. I listened to the call that he was really edifying Todd Reich, or Reich. And that was an awesome call, So I'm like, I've been missing out on all this because I've been trying to listen to everybody else, and you can't multitask. You can only do one. You can only put your focus into one thing. So if I put my focus into Robert, which I should have been or I was in the beginning, got sidetracked, but now I'm recommitting myself to listening to what he's teaching us. And I think that's important,
I tell you what. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate that. This is just my opinion. I've heard Robert, and I can't remember if it was on a recent call or a recording. Rashawn, man, she is so cute. Wow, look at all that hair. I love it. That is awesome. I can't remember if it was on a recent call or just a recording of one of Robert's things. And one of the things that he said is, and I'm just a true believer in this, it's about mastering the mundane. And the thing is, because I'm guilty of it too, you know, we do things, we try things, and then when they don't work, we either resort back to what it is that we know that didn't necessarily get us results, but it's because of what we know. I mean, I'm guilty of it. What I say about my email list, you know what I mean? I decided to go binge watch. I just write a few emails to my email list. I already know what's going to happen. I already know they're going to click the link. I already know they're going to pre-enroll. They probably done pre-enroll before, you know what I mean? But they don't never upgrade. I already know the pattern of them, you know? I'm just hoping, maybe I get lucky this time, right? But if I do what I'm supposed to do that Robert tells us to do, and from there, that's when I do get the results. That's how I was able to bring so many people into the business. You know what I mean? And I think we just kind of get frustrated when, you know, when we're trying to master that mundane. Because see, I don't know if you're like if any of you are like me. Because how many people are going to the groups to try to connect with people? How many people do that? Go into the different groups? Oh, barely? All right, then wait a minute. Then here's a better question I got then. You know, who wants to, let me see, I seen Jules go like this first. What are you doing to try to connect with people to build your business? Just curious.
I'm struggling with that. I don't struggle connecting with people. I don't really have a problem. I have been in the groups and I've connected with some people that way, but I don't ever post. I just try to like comment and all that and maybe meet someone and then have a conversation. But I do have a trouble with that because just in general, I have a hard time. I keep getting a lot, my inbox is constantly, it's still happening, that hold on one second, that I'm constantly getting flooded, like, hey, what's up, by people that are never going to do this business. They're all over the place. And with my personality, I have a real hard time like deciphering through that. That's like a big challenge for me. It's kind of a big hurdle for me. But if I find that if I go find the people, like just via somewhere on Facebook and make a connection, I don't have a problem doing that at all. So I do that a little bit, and I think I think for me it's a little more successful, but I was apprehensive about it at first because I was afraid I was going to get like kicked out of a group, or you know, I didn't really know how well received it was going to be. I've noticed like I'm a single mom, so I've joined some single mom groups, but I've noticed there are like men in those groups. I'm like, what are you doing here? So, but anyway, let's continue to talk about that. But before you get through, can we go over what you were talking about, Robert, talking to real estate people? At some point. You don't have to right now, but
okay,
continue on with that. Before we finish.
Okay, and it'll also be on the recording. Yeah, but we'll touch back on that. Yeah, we'll definitely will.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm glad we're having this conversation because like I said, I do kind of struggle with that, and I do find like also some of the things that I see, some of the things that you do, and some of the things that you've said, like you like to really like take something in before you talk about it or whatever.
Right.
I'm a lot like that. I don't know. I'm a lot like that.
Right.
So
well,
anyway, I appreciate this conversation.
Oh, you're very welcome, Jules. And when it comes to things like that, like, because I know you're referring to like the science of getting rich, and yeah, because I am like that. Like once I really know something, or you know, I know we're supposed to be sometimes what Robert calls unconscious. I forget the name of it, but yeah, I'm like that. I got to get an understanding before I can really get onto a live or really try to have a conversation about it, because to me, I'm just kind of, you know, guessing at it, and the vibe feels just different with me. So
Right, it's
I
an
get what you're saying.
authenticity thing.
Yeah,
It's
and
like
there
an
you go.
authenticity.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
perfect. That's
So
perfect.
anyway, I'm
Yeah.
gonna mute myself again so somebody
Okay.
else can talk. But
All right.
I don't know
Thank
if
you,
I answered your
Jules.
question. Thank
Oh
you.
yeah. Thank you, Jules. Margaret, you had your hand up?
Yeah, I actually go into Ray's. I'm not in Ray's group at all, but I actually go to Ray's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I will comment on people, then I will connect with somebody. Oh, I noticed your name in Ray, I noticed your comment on Ray's post this morning, just wanted to connect. Then they would answer me, then I would say, have you ever heard of Robert Hollis? Majority of them will say no. And then I will say, geez, I'd love to send you the interview between Ray and Robert. Can I send it to you? Yes. Then I say, some of them say, oh yeah, send it to me. And then some of them don't respond. I mean, it's like anything else, but some of them will respond and say, oh, that was awesome or anything. And then I'll just go into that script that we have. I'd love to add you to the group. Robert's offering free training. And then I send them the tour thing. I don't know if it's working, but it's getting me out there.
All right. Well, no, that's awesome. That's awesome. And that's how we've been told to do it. So that's really good. That's really good, Margaret.
It's especially because that they have that connection already with Ray. They want to hear Ray talk to anybody,
Exactly. No, that's awesome. I'm curious to hear from Scott, because Scott just said you don't post in any groups. How do you connect? And you're the reacher. So what are you doing to connect with people?
I go to all your guys' friends and talk to them.
Okay.
Nah. Just like I was saying, it's like I'll go to Ray Higdon's, Todd Falcone. Another one is Alex Morton. These are people's pages that these are people that we want to look for, are people that are better than us. So these are the places I'm going. I'm not even going into groups. I mean, I have my own group and I post in my own group, but it's like, I just go to Ray Higdon's group, see who's commenting on those pages, and then I go talk to those people. I try to make them my friend, get them into my group, give them a gift, get them into Robert. But I'm basically getting them into connecting before I even tell them about Robert. It's like you can't just jump straight into Robert. You have to establish a relationship, because otherwise they're not even going to go pre-enroll with you guys.
Exactly. I agree with that.
If you're getting frustrated, it's because you're not talking to enough people. You have to talk to more people. That's simple. You can't wait for one person to say they're going to upgrade. You just move on to the next person. You expect nothing from someone, then that's what's going to happen. Then that's the person that's actually going to do something. The talkers don't do nothing. The ones that just, take the action and do it are the ones that really do something. So
that's awesome.
That's
awesome.
I could go on and on, my friend. But,
I appreciate that. I appreciate your input. Thank you so much, Scott. How about anybody else? Morgan, you want to go here?
I just have a quick question. Sorry. Hmm? How many people do you and Scott, I don't know, Ellen, you contact a day, like really have conversations with a day?
You know what? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Scott.
What I was going to say, Margaret, is that with that message that you're saying, like, you don't understand what I'm saying about the messages. If you're not conversating with that person,
I figured that.
That's not a new person, because a new person is, I just started talking to you, Margaret. I started getting you in my group, and I gave you a gift, and I conversated with you. So I'm just saying, like, a message to a lot of people, that's not a new person.
No, you have to have conversation with them.
Exactly. And I'm contacting 20 to 50 people daily, like brand new. Like, that's like the minimum that I do. But lately I upped my game, so that's why I'm like, I even talk to more people now. So
when I hope everybody doesn't mind if I ask this. So if you're doing like 50 people a day, which is what I would like to do, I know I need to do that many. How do you get back to the So you obviously don't get 50 people responding to you particularly. So how do you get back to the people in a day or two that you talked to today?
Because when I'm talking to them, I'm the last person that talks to, that sends them a message. If they don't respond, I'll close it and I'll move on to a new person. Wait for another person to talk to me.
So do you finish when you have a conversation with me today? Does your conversation not end till you send me to Robert's group? I'm just asking because what
I do is I make sure to go back to that person and comment and like on their stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Sometimes if they don't conversate back with me, I'll just go drip on them. If they don't want to talk to me anymore, then I'm the last person that sent them a message, and it's on them to send me something back. Okay. And then I move on to a new person.
Okay. What about you, Tim? Sorry. Go ahead, Scott.
You got it, Terrence. Go for it.
Oh, okay. With me, it's pretty much the same thing. Actually, if you want to, I can show you a sample of a conversation if you want to. You want me to share my screen? Anybody want to see that?
I would like to. I don't know about everybody else.
Okay, all right. And then remind me, Nicholas, we'll get back to you as soon as. Let me figure out how to do this. Okay, here's my screen. Let's see. Okay, I guess I hit share. Everybody can see my screen?
It's black, yes.
Okay. It says Zoom right now?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'm just trying to figure. All right, I think most of us have, let me see if I even got this up. I think most of us kind of got this, right? Y'all can see this Word document?
Okay.
Can y'all see that? All right. So this is the basis of, I guess, of what you would call a script. You know what I mean? Of what we're told to say when we're in these groups, right? Thank you for liking my comment. How long have you been a fan of? Who's your favorite? Awesome, blah, blah, blah. So as you know, this is just a guideline. One of my biggest problems I think I had in the very beginning is because I tried to use this exact, okay? Yeah. So I used to try to have the exact conversation. And, you know, after a while, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's other people doing the exact same thing, so people are hearing the same thing over and over. I don't know, but it just wasn't genuine. So then once I resorted to, let me see if I can move this out the way. See, I got a few Facebook windows open. Let me find the right one. Okay, so let me see. Oh, I want to show you this too. This is just an example. This is somebody I had a conversation with a while back. And the reason I'm going to show you this one real quick is because just because of kind of, Margaret, what you had asked Scott, just because the people don't answer right away, you never know when something might hit them. And I want you to see this conversation. Can everybody see Susie Q right here? Okay. So when she inboxed me this morning, the first thing she says, Terrence, you selling the hemp oil products? I said, yes. Then she said, is this what you have been trying to get me into? I said, LOL, yes. Then she said, oh my God, hit me in the head. Then she said, how do you sell it? Is it, it's legal, correct? And then I said, yes, it's legal. What I'd like you to do is take a free tour of the business. When you fill out the form, watch the video of the owners on the other side of the other company. It'll explain what we do, how we do it, and the vision of the company. The owners, so basically I'm just edifying the video at this point. Let me see, the video from the owners, it'll explain what we do, how we do it, and the vision of the owners of the company. The owners has taken this company from 9 million in sales in 2017 to over 100 million in sales in 2018, and we'll blow that number out in 2019. Watch the video, then get back to me. I just gave her the link. And boom, there she go. Now, I haven't checked to see if she pre-enrolled yet, but the conversations that we have with people today are the breadcrumbs. Just because they don't go the way we want to. See, it's just like what the Bible talks about. You know what I mean? We could plant the seed, we could water a little bit, but only God can provide that increase. Same thing here. We could plant the seeds in people. The media and all that type of stuff, they're watering it, you know? And now she remembered and she came back to me. All right, so let's go back here. I want to show you a conversation I was having with this lady. Let me see. Okay. So here it is right here. This is a lady named Linda Poitras. So what ended up happening, I commented on her post because she said, I'd like to apply for, and here's the thing too, and this is something to what Jules was saying. Like in the beginning, I would comment on anybody's post. You know what I mean? Just comment, you know, just kind of throwing spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks, right? I don't do that anymore, okay? I pick and choose who it is that I want to comment on. I just simply, you know, if I right click on this person, just to put them up in a new window, I just want to see what they're about. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily want a Nigerian businessman. You know, I don't necessarily want, you know, a South African whatever. You know what I mean? Nothing against anybody in those countries or whatever, but they're harder to deal with to me. You know what I mean? With data problems and things like that. Now, this lady is from Quebec, Montreal. She's Canadian, right? I went through her profile. You know, I like what I see. You know, everything looks fine with her. Everything looks legit with her. So I'm like, okay, let me have a conversation. As you see, we're friends now, right? So let's go back to the conversation. So this was just this morning, okay? And she's just one of the people that actually replied to me. Now, Margaret, how many people do I talk to? I'm going to be honest. I've been lazy this month. But I'm like, Scott, I might talk to, you know, the idea is 20, 25 people a day. Right? Because out of those people, only 3, 4 might respond. You know what I mean? But you had conversations. So here, she says, I'd apply for GoPro for Dummies. No offense. I work hard to understand the strategies and stuff. It's infuriating. LOL. So I see in her post, she's somebody that's struggling. You know what I mean? She's having issues. Okay. Now, here, I just simply said, I know what you mean. That's it. In a smiley face. People like a smile. Smile are friendly, right? All I did was simply wait for her to respond. Now, one of the things I have noticed, you do got to keep up with the conversations because for some reason, Facebook does not always give you the notification when these people apply, okay? I don't know why, but that's a Facebook issue, right? So you do got to go back, and if you're having multiple conversations, you know, you see all these screens I got open, I just refresh them, you know, so I can see the conversation. So she said, all she did was love my post. I came back, thanks for liking my comment, Linda. How long have you been a fan of Eric Worre, right? Sort of just like what we see right here, you know what I mean? So that part is simple. She said about a year. I said, oh no, she said about a year. Then she said, I had never heard of him before. No offense, Eric, if you read this, LOL, but you're not known in Venezuela. And so from there, I said to her, Linda, I said to her, LOL, I'm sure Eric would understand. How long have you been in network marketing? As you see, that question is different than what we have on that so-called script, right? Because I'm just trying to simply build conversation, find information. So she wrote me back. I was in network marketing for a few years in 89 to 99, so 10 years. Retired and traveled to land in Venezuela for 15 years. Then I came back to Canada 2 years ago. I had to reestablish my citizenship and try looking for a job. No one wanted to hire me. So I decided to jump both feet into my old business. I'm overwhelmed and how much things have changed without me. LOL. That's why I need a GoPro for dummies. I'm alone, starting over from scratch. So you could tell she's crying out for help, right? And because she wants to do the business, but she needs help. Then I said, wow, okay, because basically I want her to know that I heard her, that I'm listening to her, right? Not just going into my own thing, but I heard her. So I said, wow, you've had a pretty extensive career in marketing and got to experience living in another country. That's huge, okay? So I kind of just edified what she had already said, okay? And then I kind of had that compassion with her. I do feel your pain about the business and feeling alone. I struggled for a long time until I finally got a coach to show me the right path. Have you ever heard of Robert Hollis? Okay, that's when I brought it up. Okay, now I could have went on a little bit longer. I could have simply said, and depending on how the conversation went, I could have simply said, have you ever had a personal coach? Have you ever been coached by a mentor or something like that? Wait for a response. Then I could have said, have you heard of Robert Hollis? She said, nope, I never heard of him. And then from here, he has been the main speaker at many of Eric GoPro events. Can I share with you an interview Eric did with him? Then I said, it's very powerful to edify the video, right? So from there, she said, of course, just realize we have friends in common. Oh, she said, just realize we have friends in common. Robert and I. Now, I don't know if she's talking about Robert Hollis or what Robert. It could be Robert on this call for all I know, because she said she never heard of Robert Hollis, right? But some Robert, and I can't see her friends. And so, but by her having other friends, that actually helped out the situation, right? That helped her trust me a little more. So when she said that, then I replied, how awesome is that? May I send you a friend request? And she said, sure. And then whoever this idiot is just tried to jump on our conversation and kind of just jump on and said, do you know Gary Vaynerchuk? I don't even know who he is. But from there, let's go back to, oh man, I got her opened in the next page. So I got her on the friend request. We're friends. And so the last thing I've did, now she hasn't gotten back to me on the video, but here's what I said to her. Thanks for accepting my friendship. Check out the interview and let me know what you think of Robert. And so basically from there, she gave me a thumbs up. Now later, I'll reach back out to her and say, hey, what did you like most about the video? She said she's going to either say, she hasn't watched it yet, or she's going to tell me what she liked. And then one of the most important things I am going to do, and Scott had brought it up before I reached back out to her, I'm going to go on her page and I'm going to look at what she done post, and then I'm going to make sure, I see what she's talking about, and I'm going to like some of her posts and maybe even comment, And that's basically, a conversation I would have with some people. And I would have that conversation with, I guess, like literally whoever would listen. All right, somebody got to help me out here. How do I stop sharing? Let me see. Okay, stop share. Here we go. Did that help anybody? That was okay, all right. Okay.
Do you do all your conversations on the post? Because I never do that. I'm always doing mine in Messenger.
No. I always do them on the post. Why not?
Does anybody else do them on the post? So you two guys do them right on the post.
Yeah. I don't switch over until I'm ready to send them a link. You know what I mean? So
I'm gonna try that from now on.
Yeah. So once I'm ready to send them a link, that's when I ask them, I ask them if they want to check it out. And then from there, once I get a yes from them, it's like, I already got one yes. Now, is it okay if I send you a friend request? You know what I mean? 9 times out of 10, they'll say yes to that. And then once they say yes to that, I'll send a friend request. Now, a lot of times, the one thing that I might do before that is, depending on the conversation, I might send them a gift right after we become friends. Okay, more or less, thank you for thank you for accepting my friendship, or thank you for the friendship. I look forward to connecting with you. It just depends on how the conversation goes, right? But since our conversation was already about the video, once we got, once I friended her, now I sent her that link in Messenger. So our conversation from now on will be in Messenger. So just like that guy jumped on at the end, trying to throw Gary Vaynerchuk in there, just kind of trying to interrupt the conversation and now send her his way, I don't have to worry about him. Yeah, she did hard as one thing or whatever, but my conversation is now because I done built that rapport with her.
I'm going to try that. Thank you.
All right. Glad that could help. All right. Nicholas, you remember what you was going to ask? I'm sorry.
No worries. I have a question about, and I don't know if this is something that we should do, but I've been doing it and I've got the results from it. So I want to know if it's something I should continue with. And that is going back to people that I've edified and promoted Robert Hollis to in the past. It could be several months back. And people that also, I can see that they have shown interest at some point in the conversation. Go back to them and tell them, hey, now we have samples. Talk about that. I've done that with not many people because I was unsure if we were supposed to do that. But 2 of the 4 people that I brought in last month came from doing that. And what I did was that I went back to them and said, hey, hope you had a good start in the new year. And then I said something like, I noticed from our chat that you have checked out the links with Robert Hollis and MDC that I've shared with you earlier. They just released CBD sample packs, and it's a great way to try them all of the samples for only $11.95, and then I send them the link, and I got 2 from that. I don't think that's what Mellor and Robert teaches. So
no, Nicholas, that's fine. I mean, long as as far as the sample packs, they're only good for the people in the U.S. So by all means, you know what I mean. Like I said, all the people that I brought in, I mean, some of them I was going back to them because they showed interest. They had showed interest. In the business for whatever reason they didn't get started. The only thing that I may do different, and I have seen Robert post, only for $11.95 or something like that, you get $40 worth of product. I think I've seen Robert. I could be mistaken. Me personally, I don't. I just simply say, look, we got free samples now, and then go to this link, because when they go to the link, they'll see it, and then on the page it says free samples. They're only paying $11.95 for shipping and handling. And so what happens is once they go ahead and they sign up for that free sample, now I know they'll get an email, but I'll still follow up with them. Hey, you know what? Thank you for getting a free sample. Now, for $20 more, you could become an affiliate, and then I can show you how to make money in this business. And, just by sharing the product or something, and then from there they just upgrade, and see, and here's the thing too. As we do our numbers, and it's funny because I was like, man, what's going on with my numbers, right? Because I found out that when somebody signs up for the free samples, it counts as 1, as our signups, because they're now a preferred customer. But then even when they upgrade to an affiliate, it don't show up because we already got the 1 as a customer, and then as an affiliate, it don't show up, so it'll still stay 1. You know what I mean? But
so you do the same, except
I do that all the time. I follow up all the time, man. Man.
I can continue with that then.
Oh yeah. I think the best thing what Robert has said when he talked about leading with the free samples, man, that's probably been one of the best. Like I said, man, I got out of 22 people that came into the business, 15 of them came off of the free samples. Okay, out of 15 of the people that came off of free samples.
Well, yeah, I wanted to share something else, if that's okay,
Mhm.
about what Robert was talking about in the beginning. Now I can't remember exactly. You said something about losing momentum or not having momentum sometimes and wondering if you're doing something wrong. I hope that's what you said. That's what I remember. And I've been feeling like that for several days, not in a row, but several times. And I've noticed that when I feel like that, if I just take a deep breath and tell myself, I'm just going to continue talking to people and it will be fine. So if I just continue to talk with more people, it's easy at that point to stop or procrastinate. But I noticed that if I just continue, I will get some form of results. Some days I need to do more to get the same results as I had the last day. I don't know why. Yeah, maybe because I'm talking to different people, of course. So yeah, I just want to share that.
Mm-hmm.
Just continue, talk to people.
Yeah, Nicholas, I really think it has a lot to do with because we're all going to have our ups and our downs, you know what I mean? And that's why like morning rituals, you know what I mean? Things like that are so important, you know, reading the God memorandum, you know, doing your I am statements and incantations. This is why they're so important because, you know, we go out and we do the things that we do. And when we don't get results, you know, they can kind of beat down on us a little bit, you know. But here's the thing that I always think about. You've done it before and you've gotten results. So if you've done it before and gotten results, guess what? You can do it again. All right.
Exactly. Yeah.
You could do
Always
it.
keep that in mind.
Exactly. You've already had success. You've already proven it. You know what I mean? It's already proven. It's just simply just doing more of it. Go ahead, Robert. There you go, bud. I just unmuted you.
All right. Yeah. So I had a question here. You know, I printed out all of my friends from social media, whether it be LinkedIn, whether it be Facebook, printed them all out, and I got them in a binder. You know, so as I go through that list, I write down when I contacted them, if I sent the link out, if I'm just following up. You know, but I mean, I got like 1,600 friends, and I should be through that whole list already, but I'm not. So what I'm asking is kind of how do you have like a method of you'll reach out to X amount of friends on your friends list, and then you'll reach out to X amount of friends, or you'll reach out to X amount of people from the Eric Worre site. You know what I mean? Like, is there like any method to what you do in terms of reaching out to people, or you just have a set number for the day? Like, what do you do?
I don't really differentiate between the groups. More or less, I know Melody has the 3 boxes, which is fantastic. I could tell you're an emerald because if you're definitely an emerald. Because if you took all your friends, if you did that, you're definitely an emerald. I get it. And when we got a little bit of that, you know, we got a little bit of everything in all of us, right? I definitely don't go to that extent. But what I do is I make a little chart like this, okay? So it's more than the 3 boxes. But what it is I do want to know how many people I reached out to. And people I reached out to is just simply people that, you know, I commented on their posts. You know what I mean? They didn't necessarily respond, but I wanted to know how many people I reached out to. If I reached out to 20 people, if I reached out to 50 people, I want to reach out to 100 people. So by the end of the week, this whole box is all filled up with people that I've reached out to. Now, the people I've made contact with, you know what I mean? I put in another box because I want to know who I made contact with, just how many. But I'm only counting the numbers. I don't care where they come from or anything else. And then I just want to know, because understand, I want to know this personally for myself, you know? Then I want to know how many people I was able to add to the vision team, right? I wasn't able to add nobody to the vision team today. You know, I want to know that. And then how many people did I give? You know what I mean? I want to know how many gifts that I did give out. And then I want to know how many people pre-enrolled. And this should be affiliate / customer. I want to know how many people I upgraded. You know what I mean? That's me. I just want to know their numbers. Where they come from, I don't necessarily care. Now, granted, if I dig deeper, I kind of get where you're going with it because, okay, if I got 10 people to sign up off of Eric Worre's group, but yet only got 2 people to sign up off of Ray Higdon's, you know what I mean? Okay, that could say, well, I need to concentrate more on Eric Worre's group. But on the same token, those 2 people that I got from Ray Higdon's group might be the superstars. You never know. You know what I mean? So I don't necessarily concentrate on what group they come from. They might not come from even in my own group. Okay, I got people in my group. I don't know these people. You know, I put out. I think I told you all before how, you know, I think I done unlocked the code to like these MLM groups, you know what I mean? Because all they do is kind of post their own links and all they do is care about themselves, right? So what I do is I just post, and this is just an idea if y'all want to do this, but just how we put our motivational posts, you know, onto our page and stuff like that, I also just put that same post out into different groups, not with a link or anything else. And so now I get people liking and they're sharing and stuff like that out of these groups. So now when they're doing that, I'm just simply, thanks, Daniel, thanks you. Now since I'm just reaching back out to them, you know, thank you for liking my post. You know what I mean? And then I'm building a conversational rapport with them. These same people are actually coming into my group, my Mindset Secrets group, because when I sit there and I accept them, I see the group that we got in common. It's an MLM group, you know? And so then I personally, I welcome them to the group, and then I personally have a conversation, say, hey, thank you for joining my group. You know, if there's anything I can do to help you, let me know. I started having a conversation with this one girl, okay? This is actually right before the call, and it's more or less, matter of fact, here, let me show you real quick. Well, it might have been a little bit before the call, but let me show you this real quick. And this is how simple it is. So if I go to, I don't know which screen it is. Let me see. Let's say I be having so many windows open. Let me see, I need that open because I'm about to start a little group. All right, I just went to this guy's page because I wanted to know who is this jumping in on my conversation, you know what I mean? Somebody from the Philippines. But let's go to my Mindset Secrets group. So usually what I end up doing is whatever I decide to post. Let me see. I welcome somebody in the group here. And then I posted this. Let's get focused with whatever it says. And so from here, somebody joined. Now, typically what I do is, I don't have a whole lot of members as of yet, but the members that I have, I'm in a good communications with. So if I hit join date, so this girl right here who joined 4 hours ago, right? So she joined, and so basically this has been our conversation. And I do this with everybody, you know? Hey, Chris, I want to personally welcome you to the Mindset Secrets group. Let me know if there's anything I can do for you. And I'm trying to see if it shows, Usually it shows where, I know when we first connected, it shows how we know, you know, what groups we were associated with, but it was in the MLM group, right? And then she said, thank you. I'm new in an entrepreneur world. I know mindset is really important. So from there, you're welcome. make sure you grab the free gift I have for you under the file tab. This will help you on your road to entrepreneurship. Here, perfect. Thanks much. Thank you so much. I said you're welcome. Then I simply asked, may I send you a friend request? She said, of course, thank you, anytime. And then I said, once we got friends, here's another gift as a token of our new friendship. And I sent her the power of words. And then she said, awesome, thank you. I'll read it as soon as I get home. So now I just started a conversation with somebody that came to me. You know what I mean? They came to my group. And I do the same thing with each and every one of these people, you know? So you'll see the same thing, you know, he's the same thing with him. He just hasn't responded yet. Same thing with this person right here. You know, the exact same conversation. And she said she's not really sure what kind of help she needs. I said, sounds good, but I'm here just in case. She said, you know, okay, great. I appreciate that, sir. You're welcome. And here's what I love about it. And I think Melanie, I mean, they got it. Melanie and Robert got it down so good. Like, I'm seeing things that we do in the 30-day course that they don't necessarily say, but I'm seeing, okay? So if you heard that, like, whoever that lady was, she called me sir, right? I had people come in, call me king. I had people call me, you know, like all kind of stuff. So what I'm also seeing as we put out these posts and we have these groups, these people are actually seeing us as somewhat of somebody that's having authority. You know what I mean? Somebody like we know what we're talking about, even when we don't. You know what I mean? But the way they see us, and because they see us that way, it's a lot easier for us to lead, guide, and direct them to where it is that we want them to go. So that's a big plus. How many of you all got groups? Okay. All right. Awesome. So, you know, that's just an idea, leading people to your group, you know, as Melody calls it, leaving those breadcrumbs in these other places. And this actually brings people to you. You know, you're not necessarily always got to go out searching for everybody. Now you got a handful of people that's coming into you, you know? It's funny. I just seen Jules pick up that cat. I'm allergic to cats, and all of a sudden I seen it, and it's like, uh-oh. Forgot we only on Zoom. Wow. Okay. Anybody else have anything? Any questions? Any concerns? We all good? Okay. Awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, you know, guys, this is a new week. I forgot how long the Ascenders is supposed to go on for, but I'm pretty sure we got a whole nother week in this. So let's just continue to go out there, you know, connect with people and do what we need to do to help get our numbers up. Okay? All right. You all take care and y'all have a great Sunday, okay? All right. Bye-bye now. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Margaret? Oh, I seen Margaret. Oh, I didn't know she was waving by or she had her hand up. Okay. You all take care then. All right. Bye-bye now.
Thanks a lot, Terrence.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you for a great call.
Thank you, Nick.
Great job, Terrence.
Yeah, that was all.
Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate it. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Jules. Thank you, Robert.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank
good job,
you.
brother.
Y'all
Have a
take
great-
care.
Great
You too.
evening, everyone.
Bye-bye.
You too.
Can't leave.
Me neither.